Step into the spotlight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Underground Geek here. Now, for those of you that actually watch this channel, I know there's not a lot of you. I did a video a while back on Punisher episode 1, and it kind of got a little bit of clapback along with DNC's review of episode 1 of Marvel, because we both kind of saw SJW kind of things pushed into it just a little bit, and people are like, oh, you know, you're crazy if you see SJW hints in the show, blah, blah, blah. You're just chasing dragons to slay and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of the same thing that we say that for people that are against, that people that are anti-SJW, you know, they say the same thing, except the opposite. But, you know, it felt like that to me. You know, there was a lot of instances in the show where I thought that there was all that stuff going on. And then so I've just finished episode 3 now, so I'm on to episode 4. And just to recap, so far he has finally met Micro. He interrogated Micro for a while, and then Micro kind of got the slip on him, which I didn't really like that much. You know, Punisher is like a one-man army, so whenever you make him vulnerable, you know, people tend to get kind of upset a lot about it. Kind of like when you do the same thing to Batman. But he's not invincible. You know, he's just a military guy. He's just a Marine. I mean, he's not like he's superhuman or anything. And so Micro kind of got the drop on him, and then Micro tells him about his plan. He says, look, every missile needs a guidance system. You're the missile, I'm the guidance system. I can break into all these servers. We're going to find these people that hurt us, and we're going to hurt them. And, you know, he says, well, I've got one request. And Micro says, what? And he says that we kill every one of them. We don't give them a trial. They're dead. And he goes, I think I can live with that. And so that's pretty much where the episode ended. So, you know, it's gotten better. Now that we have a clear mission, even though we're 3 episodes in, we finally have a clear mission of what they're going to be doing. They're working together, and they're after the bad guys. Pretty much it tells the fact that Punisher was in this Operation Cerberus, which was like an off-the-books team that just went around killing targets for them, so that these pretty much criminals in the government could make money. And so we also had this side story too, where his friend is running this veterans meeting. You know, once a week, the homeless veterans and other veterans will get together and they'll talk about their problems. And basically, it's like a therapy for them. And a character which was on the team with them funds this class. So you have all these people still talking amongst each other, still dealing with each other. And now the guy running the meetings, he knows that Frank is alive, but the friend of theirs, which is going to turn out to be Jigsaw, spoiler alert, he doesn't know that Frank is still alive. He's running this like special team now, which is going to be kind of illegal too. It's going to end up being, but so you have all this stuff going on, which kind of sets up a good story later on when they all find out that he's still alive, and then when we find out that Jigsaw is actually not a good guy, and he was having a relationship with the female investigator. So you know it's going to get pretty cool. But here's the thing: we still have this side story of the crazy NRA guy trying to get everybody to get up in arms. They're going to take our guns and all this kind of stuff. And that kind of pushes me the wrong way a little bit. It's really slight, but why is it even there? Because, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things that aren't there, but I mean, people aren't like that. People aren't just crazy, you know, idiots about stuff. Yeah, there's those people every now and then, but they kind of make it to where they're trying to make everybody in that group be that way, and I don't really like that. But other than that, the show is pretty good. I just really wish that the actor had beefed up a little bit, because he seems like there was a lot of scenes in this show where he just had a tank top on, and literally I'm bigger than him. And I thought that was kind of weird, because I'm like, the Punisher's supposed to be a big, imposing guy. and literally half the guys on the team with him, Operation Cerberus, could have played the Punisher because they're bigger than him. I don't know. That's just a critique that I have with the show. But other than that, I mean, it was fairly good. Now, when I was watching this episode, I kind of felt like it was a little long. I was like, is this really just an hour? I feel like I've been watching this for 2 hours. You know what I mean? And that's never a good thing. Like, you should know, you should watch the episode and be like, okay, next one, next one, next one. And some of you may be wondering, why are you only on episode 4? I mean, shouldn't you have already watched it by now? Well, you know, I have a family, I have a job, I have other obligations. You know, I can't just go around binge watching a TV show all the time like some people. I mean, it's good if you can do that, but I can't. You know, so that's just the way my life is. I have comic books I want to read, I have TV shows, other TV shows I want to watch, I have other family obligations I need to do, stuff like that. But anyway, so it was funny because we were talking about the whole Punisher deal, and somebody brought something to mind. I'm gonna see if I can get it pull up real quick. It actually, has anybody else been having this problem? How when you minimize Twitter, it just completely closes the app out. I don't know. It's just it started doing that with me here recently, and now that's that it does that every time. I had to go back in there again. Blah blah blah. But anyway, I was making sure that he hadn't wrote anything new, but a really good artist called Chuck Dixon. He, if you don't know who that is, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the backstory. But Chuck Dixon had some stuff to say about this TV show. He says, I hear they're using a lot of my bits, which would be his stuff that he had written, on the Punisher show. And people ask why I don't watch it. Ooh, man. If that ain't some sour grapes, I don't know what is. There is some salt in that tweet right there. And so people's like, yeah, they're using it from a lot of runs, from Barron, Zach, Potts, and Ennis. And basically what he's trying to say is, well, these other people are commenting, he's saying he didn't get paid. He wrote those storylines, and they're using them, just willy-nilly, and they're not paying him. And I was like, oh. And you could also argue, well, I mean, gosh, you want paid every time they use the word Punisher? I mean, come on, dude. But, if you do work for something, they need to at least pay you for it. I mean, they could have given the dude $100 and just went on. I mean, come on, guys. Don't be cheapskates about it. And they knew that, that's not something that you go around and you're just like make an honest mistake. These guys that work for Marvel, they know all the ins and outs of this kind of stuff. So that just is kind of ridiculous. So anyway, he's very sour about that. So I want to keep watching this and see where this goes. This is going to be interesting. But now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Chuck Dixon for the people that don't know. Chuck Dixon's a comic book writer, of course, and he has done a lot of different things. The most notable is going to be, I'm going to go in alphabetical order, it's going to be Airboy, Batman, Birds of Prey, Evangeline, Moon Knight, Nightwing, Punisher, Robin, and something called Winterworld, which I don't know. I don't know everything, so I don't know about that. Now, what's cool is Chuck Dixon was actually working a Punisher storyline. And then when they liked this one book so much, it was called Punisher Kingdom Gone, which was a graphic novel in 1990. They liked it so much they put him on Punisher War Journal, which was a comic book title at the time. And so he did that for a while, and that's where they're saying that they pulled that information from was War Journal. So that's a little, that's a rough deal there. So after that, he actually worked on Batman. He worked on quite a different mini titles later on. He actually did a Batman Punisher crossover. He's done a lot of cool stuff. Chuck Dixon's awesome. He did a lot of stuff for Batman later on, and I still got to read a lot of his stuff because some of these people have slipped my grasp. I didn't realize who they were. So yeah, we'll see where this goes with it. But there's another interesting part that I want to talk about with this. Okay, guys, I know I'm changing subjects a lot here, but I want to make sure that you know what's going on. There's an article by Breitbart, and this article was written in August 4th, 2016, and in it, Chuck Dixon is actually talking to Milo Yiannopoulos. Milo Yiannopoulos, he's one of those guys that. He likes to start stuff, you know what I mean? He likes to start stuff for the left. He's a gay Catholic, so he is their worst enemy. And he goes after them. He tries to start things. He tries to use it to make money. He's a pretty funny guy, but he knows what he's doing. I call him like a gay Jim Carrey, basically. But he's talking to Milo Yiannopoulos, and it says Chuck Dixon, the acclaimed Marvel and DC writer, appeared on the Milo Yiannopoulos show to discuss the state of modern comic books and the legacy of a writer that a writer leaves behind. And in this, Milo says, "Are you worried about your legacy as an artist, as a creator? Are you worried that you're going to wake up one day and they're going to turn the Punisher into a Black Lives Matter activist? I mean, do you care about that? Does that offend you as an artist, the fact that some of the work you have done in the past might be gerrymandered for the unnecessary petty political reasons?" Asked the Breitbart tech editor Milo Yiannopoulos. This is when he was still working for him before they fired Milo. And he says, "Well, I mean, most of them already have been. Oh, I've seen my characters morphed into PC ciphers. But the thing is, once I'm done working on them, it's like watching your kids go off with another guy. Oh, that's rough. The new daddy is here. I just don't pay attention to it. Otherwise, I'd be crying myself to sleep every night. So I just walk away from it and go on to new work. Move forward," replied Dixon, referencing Marvel's latest attempts to make their comic books more SJW friendly. In recent months, Iron Man has become a 15-year-old black girl, and the Hulk is now a Korean teenager. And as Milo himself has said, female Thor is a result of progressive hand-wringing and man-hating, ruining a cherished art form. As comic books become more mainstream following the success of many of Marvel's films, their attempts to pander to the liberal masses are entirely unsurprising. That's a whole different thing, because why would you go to a more exclusive market? But it says, "But if you did pay attention to it, presumably it would be quite unsettling," continues Milo. "Sorry, I feel like I'm asking you to relive childhood trauma, like some sort of horrible therapy sessions where I'm dredging up all these false memories or something. I'm sorry, I don't mean to press the issue. Just if it was me, it would be like someone going back and rewriting my columns with like new politics and crappier jokes. I'd be horrified." Dixon jokingly replied, "I feel like I'm at a convention now, because I always get questions like, how do you feel about what they've done to your characters?" And I mean, I had a character that I had created that I really liked and had an affinity for, and DC, they had her raped, tortured, and murdered in the most gruesome fashion, and I'm like, what the heck? And then more cynically, they brought her back a couple years later. It's hard not to take it personal. I did a book called Nightwing for years, and when I left, they killed every single supporting character and then nuked the city. Chuck Dixon has recently written a graphic novel of Peter Schweizer's bombshell book Clinton Cash. I've been meaning to get that. The graphic novel is set to be released on August 8th on Amazon. So that kind of tells you what Chuck Dixon thinks of this. I do feel like there could possibly be one of those things where they're not paying the artists, because you know how Marvel is. They're greedy people. They don't want to pay anybody. And so I've heard where they're not paying the actors what they're supposed to be paying them. So I would definitely see where they weren't paying the writers. But that's just kind of sad, because Chuck Dixon is one of those guys that really needs to be appreciated. And when he weighed in on this TV show, I was like, I've got to talk about this. And that was sent to me by a little birdie. They know who they are, so thank you for sending that to me. But what do you guys think about this? It's a very interesting time. I think it's funny that Chuck Dixon weighed on this, so we're going to see what he says about it later on as I kind of keep in touch with it. But so far, I like the show, but it's just kind of odd where they're going in some of these situations. They make all these guys to be out like every soldier has PTSD, and that's just not right, because we've heard personally on other people on other channels that are veterans that don't have PTSD. So let's not make them like little crippled puppies, but at the same time, let's not make them like crazy white wing, get all your guns together at the same time. There needs to be that balance. So take my words as you will, take them at face value. That's just my opinion. I'm going to keep watching the show, of course, because I'm a Punisher fan. So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll get a little bit better. And it has got a little bit better, just real slow. But all right, guys, that's all I got to say about the subject. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about Chuck Dixon and what he said. And tell me what you think about Marvel Comics and the directions that they're going. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later about this. Underground Geek out.